Twitter. Now, rollball being a new game not only in the country but also in Kenyatta University, we get to understand the ABCs involved in the game, plus what the coach has planned for the team, even as they prepare for their first ever All-Africa Games later this year.
How rollball has performed in the international scenes at home. The league also started in 2012 and it has been running for the last 10 years. And in these 10 years, Kenyatta University, as per the league, it's unfortunate you've only won it once. But I believe that right now we'll win it a couple of times. In the league, we have a couple of teams. In the women's category, we have about 9 teams. We'll just try to mention but a few. We have Achibela, which is a club. We have JKUAT University. We have St. Paul's University. We have Greater University. We have all the way Kisii, we have Maseno, and then we have Chuka, we have Kirinyaga, and many other teams. In the men category, we also have JKUAT Wolves. Now those are ex-players from JKUAT. Then we have the Decathlon Tigers. Now those are ex-players from Kenyatta University. We also have Greater Men. We also have GOA, which is Glory Outreach Assemblies. It is a church at Kawa Wendani, and many other teams that are coming through. So currently in the league, as Kenyatta University, the Snipers, we are at number 4, men. And then we are at number 2, women. We have tied number 1, but JKUAT is ahead of us with a goal difference of 5, which we believe we will angle out in the future matches and then see how we can take or bring home the cup. As a coach, my perspective is that the game is growing, and also I'm honored a lot by the university for giving me a chance to coach this team at this tender age. It is a challenge because every time you step in the court, you have to prove yourself that you're worth, because there are many players. Most of the coaches who have mentored me were my seniors. They coached me when I was a player back in the days when I played for Kenyatta University rollball. That is between 2014 to 2018. And most of them were my mentors. And then now, as a coach, I faced them on a couple of matches. And there's just that notion that youths can't be serious. Our generation can't really bring anything to the table. So whenever I'm in the court, it's always you have to prove yourself back to back. And that's what I like, because through that challenge, we are growing, the team is growing, and they are a very young generation, almost my age mates. By the end of the day, we thank God for the wins, and as a Kenyatta University, we thank God for Kenyatta University for all the support they give us, from facilitation to events, to motivation, to advices when we need them. So basically that's what our team is all about. And this season so far, women are number 2. We are doing something about that to bring them number 1, and that is just making sure we win at least. We are remaining with 8 matches. We make sure we win all of them, and if it's not all of them, then at least just give a draw to 1 and bring 7 home, and then to be a clear home run. To the men, I wouldn't want to lose hope, but then again, as our position to be a bit difficult to get number 1, but I'm aiming for number 2 or number 3. We are going for the top 3. Because you're just trying to make it a step better than the previous season. The previous season, the women were number 4, the men were number 8. So right now, the women are number 2, the women are number 4. So far, so good. The growth is cumulative, and as they say, the Rai was never built in one day.
When you look at this particular facility that you have here, the tarmac, as you had even said, it looks good if I can compare with other facilities in other schools and all that. Yes. What is maybe number 1, the JKUAT? What are they doing different? You as a coach, your perspective on that. What are they doing different?
First of all, shout out to JKUAT. Respects. Because whenever they play with them, it's always a derby. You call it the highway derby, and it's one of the most attractive games. What JKUAT has done different, and which we have borrowed a leaf from, is that JKUAT has, they call it the rotational system or the cycle system. And this cycle system is, the team always has to have enough players in each year. 4th years, they have to have a whole team. The game is played by 6 players. So 4th years, there are about 10 players. 3rd years, again, about maybe 15. 2nd years, about, again, 15. 1st years, about 20. So you get that by 2 years, the team that was in 1st year, by the time it's getting to 3rd year, it's a very strong team. You understand? And the team that shall have finished now is going to the club, which is Wolves. And then again, there are a strong team. Unlike KU, I think there was a bit of a gap between now the guys I played with and now when I came back, because right now the team has about like 7 fourth years, I think only 2 3rd years, like 2 2nd years, and then like now I'm trying to bring up so you have like 15 first years. So you see that lapse is now the problem is. And even when I joined the team last year, and by then we only have like we had like 8 fourth years, and when they left, there was that big hole. We had to standardize, and we learned from that from JKUAT, and now we are trying to motivate and make sure that every year, every intake, we have at least 20 to 30 players. So down the line, if they drop from 30, at least you'll have at least 12 players that will be having experience. And also that is what is making us as a team maybe lose some other matches, the matches that we wouldn't expect to lose. But then again, we are the average most inexperienced team, because most of our players are young, they haven't played. But you look at these other clubs, they have an average of 3 years playing. So at the end of the day, there's that notch they have that is experienced tactic, which most of our players don't have. But I believe down the line they will get it and will be at par.
2 weeks ago, your men's team did not really, perform well as you had expected. On Saturday, you'll be playing. The women's team rather will be playing. You have mentioned that the women's team is more of new players. Does this worry you? And what are your expectations on Saturday's game?
That worries me, but again, that is the advantage, and this is my angle. In sports, technically, there's nothing that is wrong. It depends on your perspective. So if I have a junior team, so I could say a junior team in brackets, then that means that the opponents don't know how they play because they haven't watched them play. So we have the chance of surprise because the goalkeepers don't know how the players shoot, the players don't know how these other players dribble or defend. So by the time they figure it out, we're already goals ahead. Now that is the advantage side because they haven't been known. Now the disadvantage is when now the game is now played, now everyone is equal in fitness and skills, and now it is experience, then that's where you get shot once or twice. But yeah, we believe that Kusa women, you are coming for it. You guys come and videotape the game.
What are you expecting in that game? How have you, we have been here, and the kind of training that you have been having with the ladies, what are you expecting in that particular game?
Every coach and every player expects a win, yeah? But to me, I deal with my team on a growth basis and not really bring on the pressure like you have to be number one. I don't do that. I tell my team that we are liquid. We play a liquid game. A liquid game means that we can fit into any game and we can play any match. So we'll be having a couple of teams and their universities, so I'm not sure, but we are to expect SPU, St. Paul's University, Gretsa, MKU, JKUAT, and maybe, let's work with those, yeah? And a team like JKUAT, the first matches they won us, I think, like 9-0. And then the second match, it was a 4-1. And the last match we played with them, it was a 0-0. So with that curve, I believe that we can win JKUAT because that's our main target, to win JKUAT. And then we'll play the matches as they come. We just play the matches as it come. We play this match. If it's a win, awesome. Let's go to the next match. It's a win, awesome. Let the results take care of itself.
After Saturday, any upcoming matches, any upcoming leagues? Well, your next match for the league also? We
are having match against Achibela. A small glimpse about Achibela, it's one of the oldest women's club. And 90% of the players have played for the national teams, all the 5 tours. So we are not going against a simple team. And then also their coach is the current national team head coach. So we are not going against a simple team. But then again, the last match we met them, it was a draw of 1-1. So the next weekend, we just target to get a win. And if it's so bad, a draw. That would be so good for us and it would be so good for the motivation of the players. Because as I said, Githurai was never built in one day. When you're facing a tough opponent, I don't usually do the false play. I just tell the guys, this is a tough game. Try our best, play our hearts out. Let the results take care of themselves.
Come June, the All Africa Games will be held right here in Kenyatta University. Yes. Will Rollball be participating? If maybe know why?
We will be participating, and so much thanks to Kusa and Fasu. We will be participating as a demonstration sport because rollball is still new to Africa. As much as we have over 13, 20 countries in Africa playing rollball, it's still new, unlike the traditional sports like rugby and hockey and football. So this year, first, we have been given a demonstration. And to me, that is a plus, because now that is growth. This will be the first time rollball to feature in FASU. And being given this chance, and we market ourselves well, then I mean the future FASUs will be playing. And opening up to FASU means we are opening up to FISU. Now FISU is now international universities, and opening up to FISU now opens up to Commonwealth. So to me, it's a tip of the iceberg, and it is a very good position we are moving in.
I was talking to these players, and they're telling me that they really have to buy the skates, the helmets, all the equipments. How does Kenyatta University chip into the equipments for these particular players and everything?
First of all, I'm always grateful for Kenyatta University for taking a chance to push a sport that isn't traditional. Well, the university supports the players by giving them an allowance, which is like a thank you for representing them. And with that, the players have to plan themselves on how to acquire their own equipment. Right now, we haven't had an understanding with the university whether or not they can supply us with the equipment, the guards, the skates, the helmets. But, excuse me, it's a proposal yet done, and I believe that they will assist us when it is right. Because even the court, we had requested it back in the days, back in 2014. And through patience, we have the court today. So I believe that through talks, it will come. Itakuja, itajipa tu. Mdogo mdogo. Yes, sir.
I'm Daniel Kinyanjui Kiragu. I'm a fourth year. I'm taking finance. I'm the captain rollball, Kenyatta University. Okay, rollball is an integration of basketball and handball. So we play using roller skates. So basically we use hands to play the ball like basketball, and then when it comes to post we use the ones similar to handball. Yeah.
Kuna maybe team ngapi za rollball KU yenyewe na labda kwa league are you also part of the Premier League ama ligi ya mashule mko namba ngapi mbeji wa ligi ya rollball?
Okay, rollball Kenyatta University we only have one team, the ladies team and the men's team, but it's just one team registered as Kenyatta University. So basically in the league we have Kenya Rollball Federation. So in the league we have around 8, 9, 10, around 10 teams. So other teams are, okay, there are universities and then there are clubs. So we're part of the federation and we play as one team, Kenyatta University. Yeah.
For your league, let's start with the men's team. Mko namba ngapi? Who are your number one?
Okay.
Wale wabaya tuko hiyo team.
Okay, currently we are number 3 in the table. Okay, number 1 is JKUAT. Number 2 is JKUAT Wolves. Okay, JKUAT Wolves it's part of JKUAT. Those guys who are done with the university. Yeah, the alumni. Yeah.
Na KU?
KU is number 3.
Yeah. KU piko na alumni.
Yeah, it's called Tigers, Decathlon Tigers. Yeah.
So gani ko alumni ama yenu sasa?
Yeah, it's ours.
Oh.
They're around number 4 or 5. Yeah, the Tigers.
Okay. Let's also talk about challenges pia new pitia hapo hivi as players, not only as as KU but also generally as as a country, as Kenya, venye rollball ilikuwa introduced na pia so far development ya rollball.
Okay, let me start with Kenyatta University. Okay, the biggest challenge, rollball is not like any other game like football or handball. The game that is in primary schools, secondary schools. Rollball is a game that it's mostly in universities. So when the first years come in, they don't know anything about rollball. So the biggest challenge is recruiting the players, because we need to recruit players every after first years join. So the biggest challenge is to train them, because not everyone is always willing to know how to skate, because it's quite difficult. It takes time. So the biggest challenge is training them and also helping them acquire the skates, because it is a challenge because it's quite expensive. When you look at the skates, it will cost around 6,000 at most. Helmet 2,500, and then the guards, because you need the guards because of the safety. So you'll need about 11,000 in total, because the guards will cost around 2,500. So biggest challenge is the cost this game is quite expensive.
Who buys for you all this equipment? Does the school provide or you buy the equipments individually?
Okay, unfortunately for Kenyatta University, we buy all the equipment all alone. No one supports us. So unlike other teams, they only require ball. We require a lot of equipment. So to individual players, it's quite expensive because not everyone can afford around 11,000. Because as much as you can afford the skates, you also need the guards and the helmet.
And when you look at the development, since you also knew roll ball and pia roll ball since ianzishwe KU, unaona roll ball ikifika wapi?
Okay, currently
for the game itself and you individually, are you also planning to join the national team if you haven't yet?
Okay, currently I believe roll ball is growing in a much faster rate because currently we have even the junior team which is being introduced. I think they are going to have games around on 17th. So I think the game is quite growing because we have new teams being created every year. So I think in the next 5 years, all the universities will be having roll ball in their school because right now it's not every university participating in roll ball team. Yeah.
You individually?
Okay, individually, I would like to join the national team, even though joining the national team is quite difficult because we are very many players. So you'll find there are more experienced players than me. So it's quite difficult to join, but everybody here will want to join the national team. Yeah.
Give KU! Save us! Give KU! Save us! 1, 2, 3! Yes, sir!